Yep, welcome back. Last time we did the first half of Trial 5. Everything went pretty much exactly as I expected. And we left off just as we were accusing Iroha Niji Ue, the artist, of being the culprit. Let's see what's gonna happen. Iroha, this trick could have only been done by you. You're the culprit of this case. Iroha. Wait, this is all based on the fact that it was drawing on the wall, correct? But can we really be sure on that? What is it with you again? I just have a hard time believing it, that's all. Even if it's a drawing meant to fool our eyes. In the end, a drawing is a drawing. I'm sure there would have been clear discrepancies compared to the real one we'd notice, which is why there was the film playing on top of it, which made it harder to tell. We didn't have many chances to look at the painting to actually notice those differences. Before the case happened, it was just white paint covering some wall, so we barely even took notice of it. And even after, when a crime had occurred, we only saw the painting of Teruya twice. Wait, is Iroha fucking stupid? I mean, yes, she is, I know. But why didn't she just draw... She could have just drawn the door behind Teruya in the drawing, and then the contradiction would have been gone. Right? Why is she stupid? If she had just drawn the door behind Teruya, we wouldn't have thought about, like, wait, why did the door suddenly appear? Okay, whatever. And even after, when the crime occurred, we only saw the painting of Teruya twice. Throughout the video announcement, and when we actually broke into the room, right? I don't think the video announcement was the painting. Yes, and the former really shouldn't count considering the subpar resolution and video quality. Even when we actually witnessed it with our own eyes, it was blurred with the creepy video from the projector. The room was dark and he was far away. Definitely not enough for us to see through it as a painting from a glance. And since the sprinklers had erased the drawing afterwards, we had no way of checking it thoroughly. But even with those limitations, you'd still need to be a real professional to fool us. And the only one with enough skills to produce such delicate paintings is you, Iroha. Iroha, if there's anything you'd like to object to, tell us now. What the fuck is that face? I don't know, what do you do? Whoa, she's vibrating like crazy. I'm not a culprit. You might not know this about me, but this is not easy to task. But aren't you the ultimate artist? I recall you bragging numerous times about being able to draw paintings of any genre. Even the ultimate artist has something they can't do. Iroha, although we've all suspected you for a long time, I can't say I feel good having to be the bad cop here. But if she really is the culprit, we can't let her feelings cloud our judgment. Let us prove that Iroha is the culprit. Clap, probably. The Teruya from the west was just a drawing, that much is obvious. The real Teruya was already dead inside the storage room, and you're the only person who can draw such convincing paintings, Iroha. Well, I'm not the culprit. And who else here do you suppose could produce such paintings? I don't know. Hold on, I've got one question to ask you. So I said the sprinklers that washed away the painting on the wall. But that... Okay, yeah. There is no need to worry about the washed off paint. All the culprit had to do was mop the paint up with the prop cloth that had readily prepared. Prop cloth? You mean the dirty piece of blanket on the scene? Yes, I imagine that stain from being used multiple times as a stage prop. That cloth was used to soak up paint that had trickled down from the wall. It was so stained that we didn't acknowledge the paint that soaked on it before. But doesn't that paint stain make Teruya the culprit using the painting more concrete? Agreed, if it weren't for the painting, there wasn't any reason to put that there near the wall. Oh. As previously mentioned, the storage room door was already sealed by paint when we first investigated the city. In other words, whoever did it was planning to kill Teruya right from the day we arrived here. Iroha, so you really did kill Teruya? No, I'm not. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not the culprit. Wait. That's it. That's gotta be it. Iroha. Yeah, I thought of a way. Not, I got it now. I can't be the culprit because... Oh, I didn't mean like I came up with it now. I meant to... Anyways, I just have to tell you why I can't be the culprit, right? Then here I go. Oh god, this fucking minigame. Probably connecting bridge. But I have an alibi, If I were the culprit, I would have broadcasted that video too, right? Oh god. You saw me there. Okay, this is my first time I actually did manage to fucking get the contradiction out on the first go. I had fucking lightning fingers there. And also, that was only because I already had the bullets selected. If I wasn't on another one, there's no way I was gonna have enough time. I feel like that whole minigame should be like 50% slower. No, you're right, there's the connecting bridge. So you would actually like have time to read it and like think about it. You can move between the two broadcasting rooms quickly using the bridge. Okay, I don't think this is what you did though. What? But sorry, wasn't the connecting bridge? Sorry, it seems you have forgotten about how the bridge isn't currently in operation right now. Did I not spend precious time ever since arriving on this island, running about to tell all of you how dangerous it would be to try to cross the bridge? That's right, sorry, don't get me wrong, you was the most suspicious one here. But that logic doesn't make sense. We couldn't use the bridge, so Hero's alibi is sound. I'm not sure about that. Was the bridge really not in use? What? What do you mean by... Didn't anyone feel like there was something off about the bridge? Both when Mikado first told us about the bridge and when we were investigating it, I felt there was this strangeness to it. Strangeness? That was when I thought of a possibility. I was confident on it once we figured out about Hero's art trick. But the problem is, there's no real way to prove this. If you're concerned about the investigation of the crime scene, it can be real-allowed if there's a majority vote to do so. What? If you're concerned about the investigation of the crime scene, it can be real-allowed if there's a majority vote to do so. Now hold on, Monocore, you're not supposed to... Re-examination, you say. Is an investigation still possible during the class trial? The class trial will be given the chance to pause the class trial and re-examine the crime scene using the majority rule. Okay, this is new. Since when did we have such a rule in the system? Everyone, this may be our chance to solve the mystery of the connecting bridge. Monaco, please allow us to reinvestigate the connecting bridge once more. You need a majority vote to proceed. Didn't you hear me? I thought you took wait, you useless bird. What do you even think you're doing? I never give you the administrative rights to do things like... Wait. I see, the reset. Don't know what he's muttering to himself, but why is he acting so flustered about all this? This is getting really fishy, sorry. I'm all up for it. We need to get a second look at the bridge again. Same here. Everyone, should we just focus on the trial? We now have a majority vote. The class trial will be paused immediately and we will move to the corresponding room. Okay. Is the bridge just invisible, like I said? We really have to trial grounds. I guess it is still the same building. Well, all we had to do was go up the elevator, in the elevator after all. Sorry, what's up? No, I'm gonna be fine. See, what did I tell you? The bug is still present. Now, how about we leave this dangerous place? Watch me carefully, everyone. Is that your handbook? I'm going to throw it onto the bridge. What? But Silver, won't it fall down and break? Losing your handbook is against the rules. It doesn't do anything reckless. Also, you could use, like, anything else except for your handbook. No, if my theory is correct, we don't have to worry about that. Okay, this is stupid? What do you mean? Okay, yeah, it's invisible. What? I knew it. Wait, so are you really going to... As you can see, you can cross the bridge. They use the same trick that they use on the broadcasting room wall on this bridge. They painted on the floor... What? Ooh, okay, I didn't see this one coming. How much fucking time would that take? Okay, that seems insane. Also, this was like this when we first investigated it. I feel like this would take several days to paint the entire bridge exactly like the surroundings. Also, how would you even get like the angle down? Like, okay, whatever. They painted on the floor, wall, and ceiling of the bridge to completely mimic the outside scenery. For real? Hold on. You're right, it was a drawing all along. You can quite literally rub the paint off. Once you go on the bridge, the illusion of the drawing seems to wear off. Trick art are designed to fool you only if you look at it from a specific angle. Okay, well then, wouldn't it have not worked if you looked at it from the other entrance? Okay, I guess we only ever looked at it from the west entrance, but if you looked at it from the east entrance, wouldn't it not work? If you look in front of the bridge entrance, it looks like the bridge had disappeared from that perspective. But from this angle, it doesn't look anything like real scenery. How did you figure this out, Sora? Of course, I didn't even have a hint of doubt at first, nor would I have dared testing it. Even I myself was fooled. When I first opened the door to this bridge, I felt like it threw my brain the feeling of my body about to drop from this height. But I finally realized what that strangeness that I felt was when Mikado had caught me from falling was. There was no wind blowing here. Oh, so that's how it was. This is a building of extreme heights. If there was no bridge and there was only open space, you'd expect a strong breeze due to the altitude difference. That was just a hunch. I was about to further test it during the investigation. Then I ran out of time thanks to Mikado. And when we figured out that the culprit had used paintings in their murder trick, I immediately thought of the possibility of this being the case. I see, you mean you can never actually check the bridge out ourselves, so we had no idea. You never checked it? Okay. Only Sarah was able to come to this conclusion since she was the only one who checked the bridge with her own eyes. Well, we all did have a lot of stuff going on ever since we've arrived here. And this proves that the connecting bridge was usable when the crime had happened. Well then. Iroha, what do you have to say for yourself? Say something. Come on, we're all waiting here. Yeah. So I guess this is confirmed then. There's one thing that's been bugging me. So if Iroha's the culprit, that means she even came up with the locker room mystery trick with the projector. Yeah, I think Mikado told her the trick. But do you really think that's possible with her intellect? Well, she's an idiot, I guess. You're right. How can a hopeless idiot like me think of something that smart? You're really gonna say that? Really gonna go that low? No, everyone. Even that can be possible. As this case wasn't done by Iroha alone, there was an accomplice. Is that so? You're really carrying this case, Sora? Think of the connecting bridge we found just now. As you now know, the bridge was made invisible using trick art, but was always usable. The reason we didn't question the bridge's existence was because someone told us that the connecting bridge was not in use due to a bug. With that, we have a conclusion. The person who fed us false information about the bridge, they are the accomplice for this case. So it is exactly as I said. Iroha is the killer and Mikado is the accomplice. Man, I'm a genius or something. I just kind of get this stuff, you know? Wouldn't you agree, Mikado? Mikado's an accomplice? No. Why did it take me so long to realize it? Every time I got near the connecting bridge, Mikado had stopped me somehow. When I first opened the bridge entrance door, when I tried to visit the bridge during the investigation... Maya, that was a close call. You would have definitely felt your doom if that wasn't for that one super awesome wizard guy that can also teleport, well, I'm also doing my earnest best to investigate, and it just so happens I have a question for you. So he was always on the lookout. That way nobody would figure out the truth about the connecting bridge. If we did know about this world's existence as a virtual world, we wouldn't have believed this story about the bridge being a bug. Wait, so did he openly admit this world being a virtual world just to lead us to that? I don't know if he had calculated that far. But Mikado is definitely an accomplice for this case, that's for sure. Now hold on. All I did was inform you about this world's rules. I myself knew nothing about the connecting bridge. What do you mean you knew nothing? You clearly set this up with Iroha. There's actually another evidence that proves you were teaming up with Iroha. This also has something to do with the paintings. Care to explain, Sora? As I previously mentioned, the storage room door was always covered with paint the day after we had arrived. But don't you find that a bit weird? When did the culprit have time to paint the wall? Well, didn't you say the culprit had planned to murder as soon as they arrived here? Okay, that seems... whatever, I don't care. No, that can't... because, like... I can't... my thought was that there was a cloth covering the wall, and Iroha had painted the cloth. To me, that makes more sense. Because how would you paint a door to look like it's just part of the wall? I feel like you could see, like, the three-dimensionality of it. Like, it would pop out, right? Especially because we investigated near there. We should, like, have seen it clearly, but whatever. No, that can't be it. When we arrived on this island, it was already midnight. Monoko said that the Twin Towers were off-limit during midnight, remember? And that was another lie by Mikado. What? So that was Mikado's lie? I knew something was up when I first heard that rule. I kind of glossed over it since it was Monokuro who announced it, but he specifically said, this rule is going to be enforced at the same level as the school rules. But why even do that? If you wanted to ban it, wouldn't it be better to state it in the rules directly? Good point. So this is how it went. Mikado and Hiro worked together from the start to murder Teruya upon arriving on the 5th island. And after they announced a false rule of not permitting entrance to the twin buildings, they went straight to work. By the way, having false rules is the same as having no rules. If you can make up false rules, then all the rules mean absolutely nothing. Yeah, it was weird when you really think about it, calling us suddenly in the middle of the night to make us walk across the bridge. They were in on it the whole time. Yeah, the plan was likely executed by Iroha, but the planning itself was probably done by Mikado. With this revoking true Iroha's defense of I'm too stupid to think of all this. If there's any objection to the theory we propose, we'd like to hear them somehow. We'd like to hear them now, rather. Well, why don't you trust me, everyone? Why would I team up with someone like this to murder someone? I would never... We were gonna defeat Void together with the power of friendship, remember? Iroha, do you even know why we're not surprised with you teaming up with Mikado? It's because we long suspected you as the last Void member. What? Yuriko, it's alright, sorry. I mean, there's no point in hiding it anymore. You're in Nichiue, you're a Void, aren't you? Eek! No. I'm not a Void. The Void Seobai, he ran off, you see? Ever since Nikke revealed himself as Void, your actions were undoubtedly suspicious. And by process of elimination, it's obvious that you're the one who pushed Sora off at the Tower of Babel. Now, wait just a minute. It is still too early to decide Iroha is the culprit. We still have... Iroha? Gonna start crying? Oh my god. What do I do, Mikado? You told me it wouldn't turn out this way. You shut your mouth. I don't know what you're talking about. But Mikado, you told me I wouldn't die if I did that. Please save me. You told me I'd live if I listened to everything you said. Alright, I get it. Shut up. Can't you see I'm doing my best to think of a rebuttal right now? Mikado. So, can I take that as a yes? That you're avoiding the culprit? No, wait, no, that's not it. I'm not the culprit. I'm not avoid either. I just wanted to... I don't know anything about this. Resisting till the end. Hero. She's basically admitted her crime at this point. Let's send her off with the final nail in the coffin. Alright, my favorite minigame. This is fucking Bob Ross. That's cute. Okay, but like, technically... Oh, well, this is too fast. What the fuck? The skill is actually making this harder. Technically, we don't know that she's the killer, right? It could be... Oh my god. Technically, it could be that, what's his face? Mikado is the killer, and she's the accomplice, right? We don't know which it is. Dude, this kill is making it harder. I'm not equipped in this kill. This is too fast. I'm kinda gaming right now. Fuck. Dude, I'm going too fast. Oh my god. Oh, our wig fell down. Please, I don't want to die. It's a good argument. Okay, don't fuck this up. Why would you believe me? I don't know anything really. The last remaining void?
What it is?
White flag. What if I said the last void remaining? Would that not have worked? Or is it specifically the last remaining void? Bro, you asked Mikado to for help just now, didn't you? That one act implies three other things in this trial. 1. Iroi is a void member. 2. Mikado is an accomplice who helped Iroi in this case. 3. You're the culprit who killed Teruya. How come? How does that mean me as the culprit? Alright then, I'm a void member, so what? That doesn't mean make me the culprit, does it? You gotta be kidding me. The culprit should have went straight to the Twin Towers to work on the broadcasting room walls and a bridge on the night we arrived. The work was already done. I don't know what the word best is doing there. The morning when I investigated. So the only time frame the culprit had was the night before. That means the culprit knew that the rule of not allowing entrance to the Twin Towers during nighttime was a false rule. That rule was a lie made up by Mikado, but it was announced to us by not him but Monochrome. There was no way anyone would know that rule was a lie, nor did anyone have any reason to doubt it. Unless that person is a void member. If you're a void, then you would know in advance that such a rule didn't exist. In fact, you would never know that unless you were sided with the mastermind. Thus, the person able to perform this case's murder trick was someone with the required art skills and someone who's a void member. And it just so happens to be that you admitted that you're a void member. This is equivalent to admitting you're the culprit. Sigh. Let me also emphasize the fact that Iroi was deep asleep at the bus station the way we arrived. Wake up here, you're going to catch a cold if you sleep here. Where? Oh, sorry, where are we? We're outside, Iroi. How tired can you be to fall asleep in a place like this? What, I fell asleep here? Yes, you did. Did you not get enough sleep last night? Because she was fucking painting the bridge all night? Don't tell me you slept here all night. What? Oh, as if, why would I be on the streets when there are hotels everywhere? It's just that I couldn't sleep well, just like you said. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now that I think about it, it was because she spent an all-nighter drunk paintings, huh? Exactly. That's not true. It's Mikado. He's the culprit. That turns out he's actually better at painting than I am. Why would I ever kill Teruya? We were really close. Yeah, man, you really were. We were rainbow buddies. We talked to each other a lot, and then I think it's time you give up. What? It's over. I tried my best, but you blurted out everything with your own mouth. This plan was a failure. I need to at least save myself out of this. It was my mistake leaving it to someone as stupid as you. No, you can't. So you're fessing up that you're an accomplice who helped Iroi in this case? I wouldn't call coming up with the entire plan as just plain helping if I were you. Do you seriously think this useless idiot couldn't think of anything herself? All that she did was just carry out the dirty deed. But you helped Iroi knowing that you would die? What do you mean, Yuki? If we didn't figure out the culprit and fail the class trial, everyone except Iroi would die, right? And that included Mikado, who came up with this whole plan. Death has no meaning to me. Iroi being the last survivor of this killing game was just going to be the last step to our grand plan. What do you mean by that? And why do I have to tell you that? Anyways, now that Iroi's gone and messed up everything, our plans need severe revisions. This is quite upsetting. Let us end this class trial quick and get things over with. You thought that after getting through the fucking mindfuck that was case 3, we were gonna fail in this case? Really? Okay. No, wait. Don't do this to me, Mikado. I did my best, you know? I'm different from Nikkei. I stayed loyal to the end. All because I believe in your words. I did my best. And you're saying it's all over? I'm gonna die at this rate. Please help. Your loyalness to me? Pfft. The only reason you didn't betray me was because I threatened you with the school rules. If you hadn't just told everyone about what we did, you could have turned the tables to win this class trial. You've got nobody to blame but your own incompetence of not being able to keep your cool. No, this can't be happening. I did everything to survive. I even dirtied my hands for this. I can't even go back to my normal life anymore. How could you do this to me? You're sorry, please save me. I'm sorry for hiding the fact that I was a void. I'll help you with everything I've got. Just please save me. Even if you somehow pull that off, you would be killed for breaking the school rules. Yeah. Your demise was destined from the beginning. No. Looks like she stopped responding. You're even if you beg of us to help you, it's just too late. Everything is over for you. Now then, Sora, will you please summarize the case for us like you always do? As the finishing blow to this poor wretched soul here. Why would you suggest such a thing? After such a letdown of a class trial, I have no reason to continue this foolery. Let us get rid of the girl whom nobody wants. That's mean. And finally commence the true endgame of this killing school trip. It seems like Hiro doesn't even have the strength to struggle anymore. It does feel a bit cruel, but this is the class trial. It's so fucking windy outside, Jesus. Let us put an end to this. Closing arguments about to begin. Yes. No, I'm good. And I love the scale so much I can just skip this minigame. Why the fuck are there like fucking kids screaming outside my fucking apartment? This was a pretty easy case for chapter 5, huh? I guess the whole thing I was saying about how the video was actually filmed in the East Tower was wrong. Even though it really seemed like it made a lot of sense to me, but whatever. Wait, which one is this? Is it this? After the 5th flash trial, we hurriedly moved to the 5th island right away. Unbeknownst to us, the culprit had already planned to murder Tyria with Mikado. This was because the culprit was a Void member. The culprit and Mikado made up the false rule of no entering the Twin Towers during nighttime, and went straight to prepare their crime. Okay, this is really stupid, by the way. The fact that they can just make up false rules, like, and by preparation, they needed to cover up the door to the storage room from the broadcasting room with paint. And they needed to draw trick art on the connecting bridge and to make it seem like it disappeared from our sight. Mikado tried to fool us, saying that the bridge had a bug, and because of what happened in the Tower of Babel with the virtual world, not one of us even had a hint of doubt. After these preparations were done, Tyria was kidnapped and was poisoned to death by the culprit at some point. His corpse was kept inside the east storage room, but since we didn't even know the existence of the room, we weren't even able to find a single sign of him. And on the fateful day, the culprit prepared a little premonition video for us. They first moved to the east broadcasting room to create a stab wound on Tyria's corpse. This was a red herring planted in relation to the broadcast they would soon make. They then erased the paint hiding the door to the storage room and moved to the west broadcasting room. Once they arrived at the west broadcasting room, the culprit first carried out the plan to create a locked room mystery. The locked room mystery required locking the door automatically using projector film. The culprit picked up a creepy film to be slotted into the projector and covered it with yellow phosphorus. They then hung the film through the sprinkler and stuck it into the door's lock with tape. With this, by turning the projector on, the culprit was able to lock the door without being inside the room as the film pulled the door's lock. Wait, I'm sorry. Does it not make more sense if they did all of this before the video rather than them having done this after the video? Because they can do this whenever they want. They don't have to do it after the video. They could have done it before the video, and that way they're not pressed for time as they're doing all this. The culprit then started drawing Tyria on the wall. Okay, no, sorry, I'm misunderstanding. I'm misunderstanding the timeline. This is before the video. Okay, sorry. I'm misunderstanding. They tried to imitate Tyria's appearance lying dead in the east storage room. Because the culprit had great talents in painting, they were able to draw trick art of Tyria, missing with her depth perception. After all preparations were done, the culprit used the computers to broadcast the footage to the whole city. and they filmed themselves holding a knife approaching Teruya. Well, in actuality, it was just a painting of Teruya, but there was no way to know that from just the footage. But that wasn't all there was to it. The culprit then broke one of the windows. This made us think that the culprit maybe broke the window to escape, but because the building was so high up, the chances of that were very low. The real reason the culprit broke the window was because they needed a glass shard. They crushed the glass shard to create glass powder, and they spread it on a piece of paper. The culprit tied the paper with glass powder on it onto the sprinklers. They arranged it so that the side of the paper with glass powder on it faces the side on the film with yellow phosphorus on it. This was to make it so that once it was forced open, the film will roll back in, causing fire by friction in between the two materials, activating the sprinklers. Once the trick was finished, all they had to do was turn on the projector and immediately leave the room. Just like the culprit intended, the door was locked by the tape and the film had stopped rolling. At this point, we had each seen the broadcast and heading to the West Broadcasting Room. The culprit didn't have much time to spare. To create their alibi, the culprit used the bridge to move over to the East Building. They went down the elevator and out to the East area and met Jericho, thus creating their alibi. It still seems like they wouldn't have enough time, but whatever. Originally, we thought that the culprit who had been inside the West Broadcasting Room suddenly appearing in the East area was impossible. That was because we thought that the connecting bridge was out of use, but that was exactly the culprit's plan. The culprit finally regrouped with everyone and helped break down the door to the West Broadcasting Room. Once the door was destroyed, the film started rolling again, casting a video on the painted wall. At the same time, a fire was caused beneath the sprinklers from the friction between the yellow phosphorus and glass powder. So before we got the chance to address the situation, the sprinklers activated and we had to leave the room. Because there was strong water sprays from the sprinklers, all of the paint on the wall was washed off. So the body disappeared, and in its place a storage room door appeared. If we didn't come up with the painting theory, we would have never solved this trick. Here, the paint should have trickled down on the floor, but because the culprit anticipated this and placed a prop cloth near the wall, the clothes soaked up all the paint, leaving barely any trace. The cloth was already pretty stained and dirty, so we never realized that it just recently soaked up paint. As soon as we noticed Teruya had disappeared, we searched frantically for him, and eventually found his body in the east storage room. With this, the culprit had pulled off a locked room mystery and managed to fool us into thinking his body had somehow teleported from the west to the east. The culprit sure had talent, but the plan was all constructed by the true mastermind, Mikado. The culprit had simply done what they were told to. Even so, they killed Teruya with their own hands, and nothing can change that. The culprit, the last remaining void, the one who cruelly murdered Teruya. Okay, again, it could just be that Mikado killed Teruya and told her to do all of this as an accomplice, right? Hiro Nijue, the ultimate painter. It's you. No, I don't want to die. I don't want to be killed. Please save me, Mom, Dad, anyone. I'm sorry, please. Now, shall we put an end to this? I know it's already kind of late to ask something like this when you've already killed 3 of your comrades, but are you really going to abandon Iroha Mikado? If she's gone, you'd be the only void remaining. What difference does that make? It was all destined to work out this way. Yes, they were all just stepping stones just here to fill up the numbers. After all, no one can ever even hope to understand my desire to see him once again. Isn't that right, Yuki? No. Shut up, don't look at me that way. Phew, I'm already getting excited. What beautiful flower will you bloom into when the end is nigh? Now then, Monokuro, it's time for your announcement. The end of this class trial. Okay, I guess my thoughts on the trial. It was okay. It was definitely better than case 4. I just felt like way too easy as a case 5. It feels like this should have been like a case 1, maybe a case 2. Maybe this is just because case 3 was so fucking good, but this felt like kind of a letdown. I had figured out like 95% of the tricks before entering the trial, and I didn't even think about it that hard. Like between my episode where I investigated and between my first trial episode, I took like a 15-minute break, and like that's all I needed to like figure out all of this. For case 3, I thought about it for like fucking hours, and even then I didn't even come close to figuring out everything. So yeah, but it was definitely like it was fine. I'd say it was like passable. average Danganronpa trial. I don't know why this is case 5 still, but whatever. Now, it has all been agreed upon. It's time to commence the voting system. All remaining participants, please vote for the culprit with the switch in front of you. Abstention is not permitted, so make sure to participate in the voting time. All votes have now been confirmed. I will disclose the results. Oh. It was wrong. Okay, so it's like I said, Mikado was the one who killed Tyria, and fucking... Okay, you got me. Yeah, so it's like I said, Mikado was the one who killed Tyria, and Iroha was just an accomplice. Okay. We got owned. Okay, I mean, we should have discussed this. What? Huh? Iroha Nijiue, the ultimate artist who has been voted by the majority as the Blackened, is not the culprit of this case. What did you just say? The Blackened has cleared the trial. As such, the killing school trip will not come to an end, as written in the school rules. Hold on, what's going on here? Iroha, you need to explain yourself right now. I don't know, I thought I was the culprit, wasn't I? No, I'm sure I was the one who killed Tyria. Could you repeat what you just said, Monokuro? What do you mean the culprit isn't Iroha? Then who could it possibly... The Blackened of this case is the ultimate wizard, Mikado Sonoji. Yeah. What? What did you say? Okay, I mean... we should have thought about this. Like, come on. Wow. If Kanade was here, she would have mentioned that. Look at this room full of jokers. To be this easily fooled, just how stupid can you be? Tell me you're just trying to make me laugh, aren't you? You were just all in on it for the joke, right? I mean, you can't seriously be this brain dead. Mikado. Fool? What do you mean? Mikado, what's going on? I poisoned the food because you told me to. I did nothing wrong, then how come you're the culprit of this case, not me? Of course you did nothing wrong. You did everything ever so perfectly, my dear. You have my compliments here, right? Because of your efforts, my plan has finally bloomed into something truly wonderful. What are you trying to... The poison I gave you was fake. Just plain old salt, that is. I already had put the real cyanide in advance. All you did was sprinkle some salt on already poisoned food. What? That's a lie. You're using your position as the mastermind to fix the result of this class trial, aren't you? You're just making this all up. Our reasoning was perfect. He's right. There's nothing wrong with the reasoning. Iroha herself is saying she's the culprit. This shouldn't count. This class trial is invalid. No, I am the real culprit who killed Tyria. No, that can't be. It is your fault for not figuring out everything. If Steel Buyer Kanade was here, the result might have been different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure either of them would have been like, hey, wait a second. Couldn't Mikado have poisoned the victim? And like, yeah. But I guess with Iroha herself thinking that she was the culprit, it would have been a risky trial, nevertheless. Wait, so you used me? No, he didn't. He used his magic, that's what. He used cheats to manipulate the class trial results. Why would I ever believe you? Here, I even have proof. Yeah, the rule of being, yeah. No, wait, the rule that Mikado cannot use magic to commit the murder is crossed out? Yeah, it's been like that for like 2 weeks, Yuriko. Keep up. That doesn't matter in the slightest. I can guarantee you that I did not commit any foul acts during this case. I can even ask Monokuro to reinstate that rule if you're that petty about it. Your theory is indeed perfect, well, except for the fact that you guessed the wrong person who poisoned Tyria. So in the end, you lost fair and square. Isn't it time that you realize there's nothing more to it than that? Mikado didn't use any magic? He didn't use any cheats. All he did was trick Iroha and poison Tyria. That doesn't matter right now. Whether you cheated or not, the outcome has already been decided. We lost the class trial. Now there was no way of denying that. My mind went blank. I tried to think of a plan, think of anything, but nothing comes to mind. And in the midst of that void of nothingness, endless fear started to swirl up. We were so close from finding the real truth, and yet everything is now over. I feel like I was swimming up from the deep abyss, drowning just before arriving on the surface. This must be a cruel joke. I can't believe this. The culprit should have been Iroha. And why? Whether you believe it or not, that I really do not care for right now. The outcome has already been decided. Let's be honest here. As you've seen from this trial, even I cannot control Monokuro. He's completely neutral in all of this, and for him to proclaim this outcome, means that you cannot run away from this. What do you mean? You literally got him to, like, make up a rule for you. Run away from what? Now then, with the class trial finished, we'll now begin the finale. As stated in the school rule, everyone except for the Blackman who won the class trial will be executed, and the Blackman will be able to escape this island. He's executed? Really, don't tell me you didn't expect that coming. We've executed so many people from these trials, so I assume you'd know the drill by now. The only difference was that the Blackman won this time. Mikado, what's gonna happen to me then? If I'm not the Blackman and you're the real culprit, that means I'm an accomplice, right? Does that mean I get to live? Have you learned literally anything in your life? It has been said countless times that accomplices gain nothing from murders. I'll repeat again for the final time. You're going to die, Ira. Why? I did everything you told me to. I did my job. You said you wouldn't kill me. You said you'd let me live. Oh, would you just once in your life speak something meaningful? Even if you're the Blackman, you would still be killed. You're avoided by these idiots, remember? If you had actually murdered someone with more perfection, maybe you'd actually have a chance of living this game. The execution of the spotless who have lost the class trial will now begin. Wait, no, please wait. Mikado, do you even realize what you've done? You can't kill Yuki, can you? If he dies, the Master Utsuro won't be resurrected anymore. So some of yourself has returned to you. This should be a hard end. This is the correct ending that I've planned for this killing school trip. What? Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment for Sora, the ultimate ... Yukimada, the ultimate lucky student, Yoriko Kabuya, the ultimate hostess, and Hiro Nijioi, the ultimate artist, respectively. No, I don't want to die, I want to live! A nightmare. Yeah, this must be a bad dream. Finally. My lifelong dream has finally come true. I've abandoned everything for this and now I will be reborn. Mikado Sonoji, commence the execution. Are we all going to be at once, or is it going to be one after the other? I don't know what that says, that's in Korean. Oh, it's like Utsuro. His doggy's punishment. Okay. Hello? The simulation glitched out. Really? I'd say it's a lot later than I expected. Right, good to hear that. Keep things steady till I arrive. Oh, and is this Kinjo talking? Never mind, it's nothing. See you later. So this day has finally arrived. Hell. My goat. Let's get ready then. To finish what happened back then. Why is he a half void? Hope Eclipse. One question mark? Masquerade Mask. I would like to save. Okay, well, that doesn't change my thoughts on the trial, but that is kind of a cool twist for the end of the chapter. But that doesn't change anything for the trial itself, by the way, but whatever. Kurokawa? What the hell? Did Kurokawa, like, secretly live the first game as well? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty good trial. The twist at the end was fun. The trial itself was pretty easy, but yeah, it was good. See you next time when we're gonna start chapter 6, the finale.